Hello, guys. So, in today's episode, we'll be talking about cyber laws and ethics. That's the laws and ethics surrounding cybersecurity. So, firstly, we'll be talking about the legal frameworks in cybersecurity. That's the sub layers and everything that has to be everything that's handling legal aspects of cybersecurity. The complete legal framework of cybersecurity. We're talking about we have data protection laws, which aims to protect personal data from misuse or unauthorized access. That's protection. The data protection laws in general, it's aimed to protect any any kind of user that is not authorized. It could be in a company, it could be in a private sector, it could be in an organization or a private system. We also have what we call GDPR, which means General Data Protection Regulation, and it's a strict regulation by the EU, that's by the European government, that governs how personal data is being collected and it's being stored and processed in general. And there are key principles under this GDPR that functions. And we have the consent, we have data minimization, and we have the right to access and erasure. There's the right to be forgotten. As if there's a data or a file or a document that is being used under that private sector or that organization, that particular right grants access to erasure of that document and it can be forgotten permanently. Then under Nigeria, we also have that's the NDPA. That's for Nigeria. It's the Nigeria Data Protection Act, which reflects the principles of the General Data Protection Regulations in Nigeria. That's in the whole sectors of Nigeria. Anything that has to do with the cybersecurity, anything that has to do with the framework of cybersecurity in Nigeria, those are the principles that governs it. And we also have cybercrime laws. Those are the laws that are in charge of anything that has to do with cybercrime. Each country has their own laws applied relating to their constitution. So it's related to anything. It could be hacking, it could be identity theft, it could be digital fraud, it could be online scams, it could be romance scam, it could be blackmail or sextortion, anything. So we have examples. In the United Kingdom, we have the Computer Misuse Act. In Nigeria, from the 2015 Constitution, we have the Cybercrimes Act. Then from the United States, we have the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act (CFAA). Then we have the Intellectual Property, as the IP in cyberspace, that's generally. Then we have the laws that protect software, that protect digital media and creative content. As I said, each country has their detailed laws attached to their constitution. Then we have laws that include copyright, trademarks, and patents and licensing. So we're going to be talking about the ethical issues in cyberspace, and there are lots of them, but the basic ones we have the privacy, we have surveillance, we have hacking itself, and we have the AI ethics, and we have digital divide. Now the privacy is in terms of anything that has to do with respecting users' rights, users' privacy, users' permissions, users' authority. Anything that has is attached to their personal information in general. Then we have surveillance. That's whereby it handles anything that has to do with both civil liberties. It could be under personal surveillance, it could be company surveillance, it could be anything about job or a case, or an internal surveillance or an external surveillance in a company or an organization. We have AI ethics, which is ensuring algorithms are fair and are transparent and not discriminatory. Digital divide, ethical concerns around unequal access that's unequal access to technology and internet resources. So best ethical practices. We have few, but you follow responsible disclosure policies when finding vulnerabilities. You protect users' data when not legally required. Those are anyone going to ethical hacking or the ethical parts of cybersecurity. These are the practices that will be responsible for you. These are the things that you're going to dive into. These are the basics that you're going to be focusing on. As you can see in these charts, these are mostly used for ethical practices. These are the layers, which we have 7 layers: legal obligations, consumer protection, risk mitigation, ethical considerations, competitive advantage, employee well being, and international standards.